if it's something that you want to do, you just have to jump in and do it. Don't just kind of dip your toe in it. Jump in, go all in. You- I think you'd be really surprised to see how many people would support you. And I know some folks aren't comfortable with being in front of a camera. I'm okay with that personally, but maybe do a voiceover or something like that.
Mango ham barbecue, mango ham barbecue, mango ham barbecue, mango ham barbecue. Get your barbecue on, get your barbecue on, get your barbecue.
Welcome to the Barbecue Therapy Podcast. My name is Tavis Bryant of Yago Ham Barbecue. Have you ever stood around a smoker or a grill and felt the world fade away? Now that's barbecue therapy. All right. Joining us for a therapy session today is none other than James Pavia, Aim 'em, Claim 'em Smokers. Today on Barbecue Therapy, we're joined by a guy who put some serious time behind the pit and in front of the camera, James Pavia, the creator behind Aim 'em and Claim 'em Smokers. With over 543 videos on YouTube, James has become a go-to source for honest, down-to-earth barbecue content, whether you're a backyard rookie, a comp circuit dreamer, or just someone who just wants to up their game. From detailed cooks to gear reviews to his signature storytelling style, James brings the kind of consistency, passion, and realness that makes barbecue feel both approachable and exciting. Today, we're talking YouTube hustle, pit life, content creation, and how he built a barbecue community one video at a time. All right. And Brother James, as y'all do, I feel like part of the group. Welcome to the show. I got one rule: make yourself at home, speak freely. There's no corporate, so you can say whatever you have on your mind.
Also,
Welcome
I
to the show.
appreciate you having me.
No
Pleasure to be
problem.
here.
And for those who don't know, this is what I call the me episode. The reason I asked him on the show was he's one of the ones that influenced me during COVID and all the way up to now, watching his videos, just walking around the comp, showing us the atmosphere, the cooks, the turn-ins, and the awards that put you in the area where he was to make you feel like you were part of the competition. He put you in that atmosphere to make you feel part of that community until you were able to get out into that community. So I wanted to thank him in person in front of everybody for what he did for me. So definitely thank you from the bottom of my heart for fueling my passion for barbecue. Uh,
Absolutely. Pleasure's all mine.
oh, no
Truly
problem.
is.
So let's kick it off with the basics. How did you first get into barbecue?
So maybe being from Texas, we've always barbecued growing up. It's in our DNA. As I got a little older in the high school, and just shortly out of high school, my buddies and I would get together, and that was one thing we always did. We always barbecued. So it's something that just kind of reminds me of one, growing up, and two, my best friend had passed away around 2000, and he was the one that kind of kept us all together. The guys, the friends. He would lead the barbecue that weekend, so it was a way also for me to just kind of remember those moments. But man, being from Texas, it's just what you do. Most people are lighting a fire before they're learning anything else down here in Texas. Uh, no matter where you're from, north, south, east, or west, Texas, that's something that we're known for. So it's just something. And I remember, family on the weekends always getting together. My tios, uncles, and cousins would come over, and it was just a big old gathering. And so to remember those times, is part of the reason why I continued to do it, started to do it on my own, and continue to do it now.
Okay. And what was that point where you got to, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I think I want to try my hand at competing.
So maybe the end of 2013, beginning of 2014, I had a buddy who started competing and would always invite us out to go hang out at these competitions. And I would go, and I was like, man, this is just pretty fun. And so I remember telling him one day, hey, man, let me tag along just to kind of get my feet wet and, see if how this goes, if I really like it. And literally last minute, he's like, no, you're on your own. And I'm like, I didn't even know how to put meat in a box, right? I knew absolutely nothing. But I remember walking that first box up to turn in, and dude, it was like a drug. That adrenaline hit, and I was hooked. So I spent the whole year of 2014 kind of practicing, figuring out my pits, different recipes, our flavor profiles, and thought, man, it's pretty good. And family would say the same thing. Of course, when you're feeding people for free, it's always going to be good. But I was like, this is pretty good. And so January of 2015, did my first competition and just hit the ground running and thought, man, this is something I think I can be really good at. Started to build a passion for it. And, once you have a passion for something or you find your calling, you're going to go out and try to be the best at it. At least I did when it came to the barbecue game. So, probably that, like I said, early 2015, when I realized, I think I got something good going here, So I think that's when I knew that this was something I can do and eventually have some success with.
Did you cook on race crew drums back then, us?
No. So I actually cooked on Weber Smoky Mountains thanks to two of my barbecue idols. One was Harry Sue from Slap Your Daddy, and the other one is Mo Kason. The reason why, and this was their early days, also when they were on Barbecue Pitmasters, Harry proved that you didn't need a $20,000 Jambo, $30,000, $40,000 rig to be able to compete at the highest level. He was cooking out of a van under a tent with Weber Smoky Mountains. And I thought if he can do it, then I can do it. So that's what I started on. And it's funny because, at that time, Amazon had canceled my account because I bought like 4 Weber Smoky Mountains at once. I guess they thought that it was a hack or something, right? Because I want one for each of me. But that's what I started cooking on, Weber Smoky Mountains and the kettles. So those were the original OG pits for me once I started to get into it.
So talk to me about those early cooks when you first started. What were some of the biggest lessons learned when you started out?
So we're talking just backyard. Well, I guess it would apply to both. The biggest thing I learned was know your pit, learn your pit. I remember it was 4th of July weekend, and I'd never smoked a brisket in my life. Well, growing up, but as I got older, I hadn't owned a pit to smoke one. So I went to Lowe's and bought a low barrel style pit and the gauge. So I went and bought another gauge and, it's cooking and I'm like, man, this is reading really low. So I kept up in the fire, trying to get it to the 250, 275 range. And little did I know that thermometer was off. Now, when I looked at the top of the brisket, it looked beautiful. But when I tried to take it off the grill, that thing was so burnt on to to the grade. You know, I had my in-laws over. We had people here, and they're waiting for me to finish this brisket. And I absolutely ruined it. But because I didn't know my pit, I didn't know that pit that I was cooking on. So, understanding your pit, whether it's a Weber kettle, a drum, stick burner, whatever, learning my pit and how it operates and how to keep a consistent heat was probably the biggest thing that I learned. If you could keep a consistent heat, you could cook absolutely anything from ribs to brisket to giraffe. I mean, you name it. You cook anything as long as you keep a consistent heat and have it come out good. So that's probably one of the lessons that I learned, early on.
Okay. And how did you come up with the name Aim 'em, Claim 'em Smokers?
Oh man. So at that time, I had been going through a lot in my personal life, just not making the best decisions. And it just ended up in a really bad place and felt like I was in this ditch that I couldn't get out of. And, battling depression and a few other things. I just couldn't see myself getting out of there. And I remember someone saying, listen, set a small goal and just aim for that goal. Even if it's just waking up in the morning to brush your teeth, something small. So I did. And, my confidence started building. And that's when 2014 came along, and I thought, well, then, let's see, 2014, I was practicing. January 2015, when I had to come up with the name, when I entered the comp game, I was thinking about it, and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do in these comps, but I'm going to set a goal and I'm going to go out and claim it. Right. So you set a goal, you aim for that goal, whatever it is in life, and you go out and get it. Do what you have to achieve it. But it's twofold, because also at a competition, when I would go, I would look for who were the best cooks there, and I would aim for them. Now I know I'm not going to beat them because I'm a rookie, and these guys are established and they're going to kick my butt. But I'm going to aim for them, and I'm going to go out and try to claim this prize money, this trophy, whatever. But mainly just coming from life and setting goals in life and going out and doing what it takes to achieve them. So you aim for something and you go out and get it, right? You go out and claim it. So that's where the aim and claim them came from.
That makes sense. I thought, in my head, I was like, maybe he got it from a Western or something like that. But no,
My early designs, people kind of think that it has to do with shooting, because they think it's a bullseye in my logo, but it's actually a cross.
oh,
So people would see my original logo and think that it was like a target that you're aiming at, but it was a cross and not a bullseye, or it's a scope kind of deal.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
No.
So you got 543 plus videos on YouTube. What made you start filming your cooks in the first place?
So I enjoyed cooking, but what I absolutely hated was every time I looked up a recipe, they'd call for 5, 6, 7 ingredients. And most of those were ingredients I'm only going to use once, only for that recipe. And I wanted to, I thought, man, there's got to be a better way. So I wanted to show people that you can make really good food with really simple ingredients. Keep it simple. You don't have to go out and, buy 10 different ingredients to make something really good. I think some of my, listen, I make a great enchilada, right? And I will put that up against anybody. And my ingredients, there's only like 3 ingredients. So you can do something that's really, really good and keep it minimal, not have to out season yourself. Just keep it simple. So I wanted to prove that that can be done. And that's when I decided if I can't find the videos, I might as well make them. So that's how I got started doing that.
And how was that first video like, and how's your style evolved since then?
Oh man, I don't know how many times I thought about deleting it, taking it down, because it is horrible. I think it was a steak video. It's pretty hard to mess up a steak, man. But if anybody can do it, I did early on. But that since then, when I was watching these videos, I hear people with these catchy phrases or talk a certain way, and I had someone tell me, "Just be you. Don't try to be him or her. Just be you. Do what you do. If people don't like you, hey, there's millions of videos on YouTube that they could go and watch." So it changed from feeling like, okay, I need to word it this way. I need to try to show this angle, to me just saying, dude, this is me. And I get a lot. I got it just a few days ago. You talk too much. Like these comments, and I'm like, that's okay. That's me. You want someone? And the funny thing is, I hate watching videos with people who talk too much, but that's me. But like this is just gonna be me. This is gonna be what I do. And if you like it, just stick around. If not, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, I reckon. But there's other people you go and watch. It isn't gonna hurt me. So I just went from like feeling like I needed to do things a certain way, scripted, to just flying off the seat of my pants. When I shoot most of my videos, I have no clue what I'm doing. Well, not what I'm doing. I have no clue what I'm gonna say. Like I don't script it out. I just talk. And what I've noticed is people can pick up on your sincerity when you're authentic. People can pick that up. They can relate to that. Oh, that guy's just like me, and I think that's what has made me so relatable to a lot of people. Yeah, and what has helped, I built a following of folks who really trust what I say. In other words, if I push a rub, a product, or something like that, they know that I'm not doing it to make money. It's something that I enjoy, I use, and I stand behind. In fact, over 540 videos, you said, I didn't even know how many I had. I have never made one single penny from a company for talking about a product, talking about a rub, or anything. Of course, YouTube pays you, right? But not one single penny. And people swear there's some, like, they haven't made products that I absolutely love. It's incredible. It's incredible seasoning from Heaven Made Products. Hands down, my absolute favorite seasoning of anything I've ever owned and tried. And some people are like, oh, well, you just saying that because they pay you. No, I it's sitting on my kiln right now. That's my salt and pepper. I literally use that for everything: beef, chicken, pork, you name it. But people trust that if I say something, that I mean it, and I'm not just trying to sell a product. or push something that I don't stand behind. I take it back. There was one company who did pay me to make a couple of videos, but I still use that product today. El Yucateco. That's one of my main ingredients in my hot sauce. So, and I haven't dealt with them in a couple of years probably. And I still use their product, push their product, but I think there's maybe 2 videos, so just to be transparent there. But I think I worked really good to build a reputation that people can trust what I say,
What's your secret to staying consistent and motivated?
It's hard to do, man. There are a lot of people who came before me that I had followed that aren't doing it anymore. I think the key though would be to just make sure you're doing what you love to do. I love to barbecue, so I'm not gonna start a channel cooking Italian food. I mean, that's just I love Italian food, but that's not my wheelhouse. Barbecue, I'm actually passionate about and love doing. So, find something that you love doing. Maybe it's RC cars, remote control cars, whatever it is, find your passion. And that makes it a whole lot easier to stay consistent with what you're doing, interacting with your viewers. I always try to make sure, especially early on and throughout my video making, that if someone left a comment, that I answered every single person back. Sure, I missed them, but I always made that a go because I just appreciate it. If you're going to take your time out of your day to watch one of my videos, I want you to feel like you're part of the crew. And, I'm a regular Joe like everybody else. And if I have a friendship with you, if I can build, which I've been able to do with tons of people in this community through YouTube, if I'm able to build a friendship with you, with all of my viewers or as many as possible, it makes it easier. It helps make it easier to stay consistent because I know Joe over there is going to be looking for a video, or Sally's going to be, she's waiting on my video to drop. So, be passionate about what you're doing and be involved with the community. Yeah.
That's one big thing. You interact with people, feel welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think you're better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll get that. I've gotten a lot of that, but I tell you what, you won't find one person that says otherwise. I've had people contact me who, even the last cooking partner, will contact me and say, "Hey, we're doing this cook-off. I know you don't know us, but we'd love to have you join us. We'll pay for your hotel room or whatever. We'll bring you down." And I'm like, you know what? I'm there, and I'm going to pay my own way because I'm not going to because I get a free hotel room or something like that. It's important to me that people know that I'm just ordinary Joe, man. And if I can help you out in any way, then I'm going to do it. I've got a story, but I don't want to get too into it. Just about trusting people, opening up and trusting people, and who aren't who they say they are. But that's just me, man. I want to. Here's my phone number. Call me anytime. I mean that's just what I do, and it truly helped build these relationships. Again, you won't find one person that will tell you, "Oh, well, what you see on video isn't what you see in person," because it's like exact same dude. Come hang out in my trailer, pull up a chair, have a drink, have some food, whatever. You're always welcome, man. In that always went for anybody. So.
And is there a video that unexpectedly blew up, or one that you thought it would hit big and didn't?
Yeah, there's one that blew up probably. I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers lately, but the last I looked, I- and it's not even barbecue. It was like a stuffed chicken. I think I stuffed it with some a stuffed chicken breast that I stuffed with some kind of cheese and I think some bell peppers. And it's probably still my top video, and that was years ago. So there hasn't been one that I thought, okay, this is just gonna blow up, and it didn't, because I don't view it that way. But I can say, wow, I had no idea this was gonna be this popular.
When you competed, were you a stick to the plan person, or let's try something to see what happens?
Right. So first it was, let's just try something to see what happens. As I started competing more, listen, these things aren't cheap. From your entrance fees to your meats to having to reorder seasonings, things like that, it can get pretty pricey. An entrance fee can run from $150 to $1,000, if not more. So, and that's just the entrance fee. So I got tired of just throwing away money, flying by the seat of my pants. I was like, I gotta plan this stuff out. Plan your work and work your plan. Sometimes I see people come in and I'm like, thank you for the donation. Because I already know they're wasted. They're just, they don't know what they're doing as far as like not having a plan. You look at all these guys that are very popular right now and having a lot of success, like Bill Purvis, Fred Robles. I mean, you name them. All these guys have a plan that they stick to. Consistency is going to help you be successful. If you trim your ribs this way the whole time, try to stick with that. If this is your wrapping process and you're having success, stick with this. So that way it just becomes second nature, muscle memory.
Mhm.
So now it's more of a plan it and not so much, so I'd go to cook off and I invite all my friends and family, and there'd be 20 people there. I don't invite my damn mama to come out, because I'm trying to win. I'm trying to aim for a certain goal and go out and get it, right? So definitely more of a plan type of person. Now, when it comes to competition at home, listen, I'm cooking at home, so it doesn't really matter. If the meat is late, it takes longer, what it looks like. I'll go to the grocery store and just walk around and be like, okay, what can I smoke today? What can I cook today? And then come home and sometimes shoot a video. So it just, depends on if we're talking comp world or the backyard cook.
How has the barbecue YouTube community impacted your journey?
Oh man, I can't think of a better group of people. I talked about being able to meet idols and Mo and Harry. The opportunity has given me to travel. The companies, it's given me the opportunity to work with like Dow Strong, Z Grills, Magna Chef, the friendships that are going to last a lifetime. I go to a cook off and we're all just hanging out and having a good time, and families involved, people's kids are involved, seeing them compete, to just spending time together outside of barbecue. Like it's really has opened the doors to some amazing friendships that I would have never happened had I not entered this world. So it's been great, man. And you know, I look forward to continue to build on the current friendships, make new ones, help anybody that comes behind me, because there are people before me that helped me. You know, I'm always just a phone call or a message away. It's some of my best friends are from this world. And you know, when I see them have success and do well, man, I am, and it's not just me, but that's another great thing about this community is super, super excited for them, truly happy for them to see them do well. We talked about Bill Purvis earlier, to see what he's doing now, see where he came from, to have been there from the very beginning, to see the dude kills it all over the country. Man, I couldn't be happier for the dude, because he is genuinely an amazing dude. And that's a lot of people in this community.
Agree with that 1,000%. What's one piece of advice you like to give someone trying to start their own barbecue channel or blog?
Starting your own barbecue channel? Well, I think I kind of said it earlier. Just be you. Don't try to do something that you're not used to doing. You don't have to go out and, yeah, I shoot all my videos on my iPhone. So you don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on, like, some of these people with these fancy cameras. If it's something that you want to do, you just have to jump in and do it. You know, don't just kind of dip your toe in it. Jump in, go all in. I think you'd be really surprised to see how many people would support you. And I know some folks aren't comfortable with being in front of a camera. I'm okay with that personally, but maybe do a voiceover or something like that. But be consistent with it, especially early on, so that way you can build your foundation. If you decide you're going to release videos on Tuesdays, then make sure you know, do it every Tuesday, because now your followers are going to know, okay, I'm going to come back to Tavis's channel on Tuesday because that's the day that he releases his videos, or I'm going to come back to so-and-so's channel, you know, on certain days because that's when they release their videos. So just be you, be consistent with it, build your foundation, but be authentic. People will pick up on that, and it just makes you more relatable. And I think that's something that helps that channel grow.
So I was when it came to this podcast. I was like, I want to start a podcast. I don't know if anybody gonna sign up. So then I went to Memphis in May with my wife, and a lot of love out there and a lot of fellowship with a lot of people out there. And I was like, man, I got to get started. So when I came home, that's when I jumped into it. I said it was either now or never, and that's when I kicked
Yeah.
it in gear. And everybody's been welcoming, so I could
And
never for that.
yeah, and you know, if it doesn't pan out, then, and not just you, but in general, if it doesn't pan out, then at least you tried it. And you know, okay, maybe this isn't what I thought I wanted. But you're not going to know if you don't just dive right in, you know.
Sure.
So those are, you know, things that I would tell someone who was just started out. Be yourself, be consistent, and you know, just do whatever it is you love doing.
Exactly. What were your favorite videos to shoot? Was it the recipes? Was it the cook videos? The product reviews? Which ones did you enjoy the most?
So early on, it was cooking videos, and probably as much as I love barbecuing, I mean, I do cook other things. Those are probably some of my favorite videos because I didn't have to go outside and light the fire and deal with outside noises or anything. But now it's my comp videos. I found that people really enjoy them and living kind of vicariously through me. You get a lot of people who want to enter the comp world but are afraid to. So this kind of lets them get their feet wet a little bit by just seeing what goes on. And then if you're lucky enough to walk, to be able to film that, people love seeing that. And when they're complimenting you, you feel good. So now it's mainly comp videos. We touched on it a little bit, but sometimes it can get pretty busy. And so I'll start a video and then, I'm running behind or something and don't have time to finish shooting it or getting the video footage that I think people would like to see. But I still try it every cook-off. We got one this weekend that I'll be filming. And those just seem to come off better. And there's some of my favorite because I can kind of knock out two birds with one stone in that I'm putting up a video and it's a barbecue video. So, I don't have to figure out, okay, what meat, go to the grocery store, what meat am I going to cook today? They're all there already. So it does make it a little easier.
All right, this is a hard one here. If someone could only watch one of your videos, which one would you point them to?
One thing I hate are really long videos. However, I produce really long videos. And probably the one that I would point to the most, I think it's roughly like 30 minutes. And it's how to trim a brisket from start to finish. Brisket, not only I think in Texas, but anywhere is king. And everyone wants to learn how to cook a brisket. So this video takes you from start to finish on how I do it for the backyard, because most of my followers are backyard cooks. But every time someone leaves a comment, it's always the same comment. Man, I've seen, dozens of how to trim a brisket video, and this is the best one that I found. I'm very thorough in that video, explaining why I do things a certain way. If I was watching the video or I ran across the video, I probably wouldn't watch it because it's so long. But my followers just seem to love these longer videos for some reason. But it would be that one because it explains everything and going again into detail, make it really simple, layman terms. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's not rocket science. So that, since I am mainly a barbecue channel, would probably be the one video that I point people to.
Yeah, me personally, I like the longer videos because if I can't watch the whole thing, it give me anticipation to when I go back, I got something else to watch. I prefer longer videos because they give me more to watch. And when I run out of stuff, I'm like,
Yeah, well, I'd probably say I know I said I don't like longer videos. I guess what I should say is I don't like long videos where someone is just talking, because I watch a lot of videos that have nothing to do with cooking. And it's just someone on the screen talking. But I'm one of those people, don't just tell me what to do, like physically show me, do it. Let me see you. When you say round the edges on your brisket, what exactly are you referring to? Like, do it in video. So I don't necessarily mind the longer videos. I just don't like long videos where half of it is just a person in front of the camera talking about whatever 30-second clip they're going to show. So I'm kind of the same way. Like I need to physically see you do it, so I guess I shouldn't say I don't like the longer videos. It's just the ones with tons of talking and not actually showing stuff.
Pop up with the finished product and they'll show you how they did it.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to switch over to something that I do with all the guests. You know, in college basketball, they have the tournament bracket. So, what I did
Yeah.
is made a tournament bracket of 16 meats that you cook on the grill. And all you do is pick which one that you prefer eating. And we're going to see which one is the final winner. All right. First matchup is beef ribs versus lamb.
Oh, beef ribs.
All right. Next matchup, smoked ham versus turkey.
Turkey, easily.
All right. Burnt ends versus hot dog.
Burnt ends. Although I do love me a good hot dog.
All right. Pork ribs versus steak.
Oh, already right off the bat. A 16 is going to take down the number one, huh? Damn. Two, I thought those would probably be the final four.
I just ran away.
All right. So if we had to pick one, golly, man, we're beef country, but I absolutely love pork. And I'm probably going to lose my Texas card for this, but I'm going to say pork ribs. Man, coming out swinging.
All right. Smoked bologna versus brisket.
Oh, brisket.
All right. Barbecue shrimp versus sausage.
Oh, shrimp.
Okay. Pork chop versus smoked chicken.
Smoked chicken. Pork chop is probably the one thing I can't cook to save my dang life.
I love pork chop.
I love it too. I just can't cook it.
Pork belly versus hamburger.
Pork belly.
Okay. Next round is beef ribs versus turkey.
I'm going to have to go turkey.
Oh, wow. Burnt ends versus pork ribs.
Go cooking my grits, coach. Pork ribs, or you said burnt ends?
Mm.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to stick with the ribs. That's the one thing I cook the most.
All right. You got brisket versus shrimp.
Brisket.
All right. Smoked chicken versus pork belly.
Smoked chicken.
All right. Final four. You got turkey versus pork ribs.
Man, I'm going to have to stick with my ribs there.
All right. Brisket versus chicken.
Brisket.
All right. You got pork ribs versus brisket in the final.
To keep my Texas card, I got to go brisket.
All right. Brisket is the winner. All right, Brother James, your therapy session is over. You got anything to promote or give out your website? Anything that you want to say?
Well, first off, I appreciate you having me, man. I truly, truly do. It's a pleasure meeting you and chopping it up. People can find me under AIM, AIM, apostrophe EM, and Claim CLAIM, apostrophe EM. Smokers on YouTube and Instagram. Outside of that, I do want to thank my number one sponsor, Tito's Handmade Vodka. I always got to give them a shout out. They've been amazing to work with. Outside of that, probably not a whole lot. I would say support your local pitmaster, right? Wherever you're at, whether it's a restaurant or your neighbor, support those folks. And that's probably it.
All All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on because you're one of the people I wanted to speak to the most. Like I told you, you and Alonzo from Gulf Coast Smoke, Harry Sue, all those that made videos that helped me along the way when I needed something to watch and feel that barbecue void. So I definitely appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, and I do want to say if there's anybody out there who, is ever thinking about entering the comp world and just kind of need some guidance or want some help or has questions has questions or anything like that, man, you can always reach out to me. Usually through Instagram is probably the fastest way. There were people before me who came before me who helped me out. So I feel I have an obligation to help somebody else out. If I could come to wherever you're at and, maybe do a cook with you, help you at a competition or whatever, man. Those are the things that I really enjoy doing that I'm grateful for from this community. So you guys can always reach out to me through Instagram. And, if I can be of help, if I can offer any assistance in any way, shape, or form, do not hesitate to reach out, man. The pleasure will be all mine.
All right. We definitely appreciate that. And definitely check out his videos because they are very helpful and it put you in the atmosphere of the competition 1,000%. I'm a witness. I've watched 95% of his videos as far as I can scroll back. I've watched all his videos. I got red lines going across all of them from when I watch. So definitely check out his videos. And I appreciate you coming on. And we'll see y'all next episode. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Barbecue Therapy Podcast. My name is Tavis Bryant. Please tune in to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and any streaming platform near you. Please pay the secretary on your way out, and we'll see you next episode.
Y'all go ham barbecue.